that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang with Steel Sharpened Steel after dark.
Hello, hello, hello. You know, Anthony Turner, you kind of scared me, bro. It took a while for your message to come on camera. I thought somebody might try to snake you. But I am Tom Cunningham.
And I am Joyce Stevens. And today's show is brought to you by petroleum jelly. Petroleum jelly. That amazing and mysterious substance that people in certain circles have been using for 3 generations, but that hype Twitter has just discovered in the past 3 days. Petroleum jelly has myriad uses, one of which is locking moisture into your body. And those little Columbusites have discovered that you can use petroleum jelly after you get out of the shower to keep yourself moist. And they're calling it slugging, skin slugging. So if you hear the phrase skin slugging, know that that is just one more thing that the 6Fers have discovered 400 years too late. Petroleum jelly. We been did that.
You said Columbusites. I hate you so much right now. I will say, though, I don't know if you have some petroleum jelly, but the lips are popping right now. And solo shoulder magic is working.
Thank you.
I would just say.
My official Minneapolis.
Oh, not Purple Rain! You look like you've just sanctified yourselves in the sacred waters of Lake Minnetonka.
I don't care what we do. I don't care, pretty baby.
Just take me away.
Yo, it's Wonder Twins power tonight, y'all. It's about to be lit. We have both imbibed.
Wait, you got to put your fist over here. No, other way. Ching!
Right. Form of angry black woman.
So, I don't know if you guys read our little post about what we're going to be talking about today. We have a couple of things. We are down 2 Steelies to our Sharpies, and so we are going to keep this deft and live and economical. We may do some more singing, though, because that duet actually... all right, Apollonia. We may do some more of that, but there's stuff to talk about, and perhaps a little less stuff than last week. Although, you know, again, as I mentioned, the damned Sun Dodgers, híjole. The January 6th Commission last week had the bombshell revelations of Miss Cassidy Hutchinson, whose a favorite phrase of something to the effect of is probably going to be entered into the Webster's Dictionary as word phrase of the year, some to the effect of, with no breaks, because she said that damn thing so many times. And one of the persons that she was referencing so much in her something to the effect of was Pat Cipollone, who was White House counsel, not Donald Trump's counsel, White House counsel,
Right.
Counsel to the institution. And apparently he has a few things to say. Now, I will start off right off top by saying that these are people who have invested the better portion of their lives, Cassidy excluded, but certainly Pat Cipollone and Cheney and, you know, Kinzinger and everybody else. They have invested the vast majority of their lives in promoting conservative dogma.
Right.
Okay? These are not people who are heroes or champions of goodness or anything like that. But to their credit, there are lines that they are not willing to cross. And Trump has crisscrossed the lines and jumped all through them things.
Man, he
And
was
so,
double dutching through the line.
oh, I mean,
Right.
and, and, the senators are like, Mitch McConnell is like, and now Lindsey Graham is dodging subpoenas in Georgia, talking about as the Senate Judiciary Committee, he has the authority to talk to other states about how they run their election certification.
This is not how any of this works.
Ma'am, no. First of all, ain't nobody asks you. Stay in your own state. So there's
Right.
that.
Literally stay in your lane.
And second of all, this never advanced to federalism.
Mm-mm.
This was Georgia doing Georgia's job,
Things. Right.
and that has nothing to do with you. You talking about negating authorized signatures according to the Georgia Secretary of State, just so maybe Trump could win? Lindsay, girl, stop.
Ma'am, come on.
No, come on. No. You've got some other pearls to clutch, I'm sure. So what we have now, as of this recording, obviously the committee has not released any, information on what Cipollone has actually attested to in his testimony today, but we're waiting. And so what we're interested in seeing, if he supports anything that Cassidy has said, that's not good. It's
So the wedge in the door is there. Cassidy came through, to borrow a phrase from my associated frat brothers. Boom, coming through the door. Now all we got to do is have one more person just shimmy on through. Little shout out to you. So that's all
I'm waiting for somebody to neck roll into that. Just
that's all it takes, because she is giving them. So there's this. I remember seeing this video a while back about. It's not so much about being the first pioneer, but the first follower, because it's the first follower that gets all the other people to stop looking at the first pioneer like a lone nut. I wish you could find that video. It was amazing, because when you're just out there doing your own thing, people look at you like you're crazy, and that's how some people try to discredit. Cassidy, like, oh, she's not to be trusted, blah 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 blah. The first person to follow her begins the cascade of yeah, nope, they're right, and then all of a sudden, more and more people, once it's safe, will start to be like, I too want to speak my mind, and it's time that I stood up for what's right after everyone else has stood up before me and proved that I'm not going to be in trouble for this. So all we need is one more person to corroborate even a third of what she said.
I don't even think you need to. This is the thing that is really going to be trouble. If those Secret Service people don't come out under oath and convincingly say, I did not say that to her. Mm-hmm. Because here's the challenge. They don't know what she might have recorded. And you can't lie to Congress.
I don't think any of them want to go to jail for 45.
They sure don't.
And see that sit on them for 4 years.
Because guess what? Trump can't pardon you, bro. Ain't nobody can pardon you right now. And he's not. Listen, this whole thing about him announcing his run early because he was so pissed at Cassidy and da 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 da. I mean, basically, this is because Ron DeSantis is kind of rising in the polling. So much so that the Lincoln Project actually released an ad targeted to an audience of one, which is Donald J. Trump. I said Day Trump. Donald J. Trump. And basically, they are literally saying, look at this. He's stealing your thunder. He's stabbing you in the back. And now he's trying to run against you. People are saying he stole your style and is doing it even better than you. This is a guy who stabbed you in the back. You supported him, and he's trying to take it away from you.
It
Look at
belongs to
that.
you.
Look at that. Look at that. And that's exactly how it's like. It's framed in these subtle voices, and it's always showing a big smiling DeSantis. And they are trying to bait his ass.
He's easily baited.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
they are playing
He
they are
has,
playing
he's
a few good
100%
men with his
fluid. He
ass.
has no self control.
No, none. His executive, what do they call that? You know this because of your work in talking with corporations. What the executive manager is that little piece of your brain that tells you what's stupid and what's
Yeah, that is open position. So executive manager.
we're hiring.
Right.
He just has no chill. That's what the young folks say.
No
He
chill.
he ain't got no chill. Now I want to shout out one of our Sharpies, Vera Jordan, who popped something in. Gavin Newsom has come into the conversation recently as a person who could potentially be the salvation of the Democratic Party. As a resident of California, I'm not buying that. Just let me be clear. They tried to recall his ass. You ain't even safe in your own state, bro. Plus, your name is Gavin. Plus, what Vera just said is that Kimberly Guilfoyle is his ex-wife.
Wow.
Kimberly sharing a Coke plate with Don Jr. Guilfoyle is Gavin Newsom's ex-wife.
That's like vaguely incestuous. Like
That it's gross, is what it is. It's Ariana Huffington gross. It's the Jerry Ryan's ex-husband, former Politico from Illinois, I think. Gross. Gavin, sit down. It's not happening for you, bro. It's not. I'm not a big enough fan of you, Gavin. I mean, you know, you're doing okay, and I certainly voted for you. But no.
now, Chan says that he predicted a bull moose type situation back when Trump lost, and if he doesn't end up behind bars, then his prediction may come true.
I do not believe that Trump will Jill Stein himself. Trump is not that delusional. I do not believe that he thinks he can create a Trump-Publican Party that could actually prevail, because everybody in the Republican Party is not going to vote for him. And if he does not win in the primaries to get to be the Republican nominee, then the Republican Party will have stepped away from him. And God bless him. Do it. The Trump Moose Party, Bull Trump, do what you want, bro. Make it happen. You can do it. You're a star.
So a Trump DeSantis ticket has legs, though.
Oh, Jesus. You think DeSantis wants to play second fiddle to him?
I think DeSantis would, and then choke him out in his sleep. It's a Florida boy we're talking about.
Well, I mean, yeah, Florida man. I mean,
you ain't even got to choke him out in his sleep. Just give him 2 cheeseburgers in one.
I'm trying to figure out which vice president would think, after seeing that Donald Trump literally supported the summary execution of his own vice president, who wants that job with the expectation it will do anything for them.
Well, see, you got to understand, Pence went into it thinking that they were just going to get along. If you go into it planning to betray him before he can kill you, it's just a race to the gun in the middle of the room, right? So that's all that is.
I mean, I agree with the idea that if DeSantis were smart, he would probably go with Trump. But I think part of DeSantis's intelligence is knowing that hitching your wagon to Trump is not necessarily a winning proposition. I don't think people vote for the bottom of the ticket.
They don't.
And so if you are first of all, if you agree to be Trump's running mate, because we've still got 2 more years. Now, God willing that we hold the House, at least, that is currently conducting the investigation. If we hold the House, we've got 2 more years for shoes to drop. And you can't hitch your wagon to Trump's star without knowing that Trump is not going to be indicted. Because if Trump is indicted and you're already on the ticket, you got a problem. Now, maybe you can just leap to the top of the ticket, but he's not going to let go.
No. Not at all.
So if you're on his ticket and he gets indicted, he's not going to step down. Oh, it's a witch hunt. Oh, they're just trying to keep you from voting for me. Da 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 da. Now you're attached, and you can't disattach and try to run on your own now, because then you will have abandoned him. So once you're in bed with Trump, you can't pull out. His pullout game is weaker than Nick Cannon and Elon Musk.
Oh, signing on to be Trump's vice president is like putting on a red shirt for your team member.
Oh, and you are always beaming down to a planet full of lava monsters. Trust me, Ensign Chad, you're not coming back. You are so disposable, bro.
As soon as you land.
It's like, I'm sorry, Captain, there's nothing left. Uhura's like looking all shocked and shit. Chad. Sorry, bro. Yeah, it's all about the red shirts and the people who are on his train, like the Boberts and the Marjorie Taylor Greens. They're not going anywhere. Like politically, they are
in it for the 15 minutes of fame.
For the 15 minutes, Boebert is in a solidly Bobertian district, although, there's stuff going on with her. Marjorie Taylor Greene had the misfortune of having her district kind of sliced up. So it's a lot more.
They sliced through a black woman's district.
Exactly. And so her district is a lot more blackerer. And she is running, as we said last episode, she's running against a black man who wears a cowboy hat. So. And
half her district is looking at her like that woman in the dashiki that be chewing gum left.
Yeah, we waiting on you, Marjorie. We waiting on you.
I wish you would come down to the church and say something, girl.
And Raphael, I don't know if you all have noticed, I got my first Raphael is in the lead email today. A week after the poll, they have him up in his own publicity materials up by 5 points. And so now the message is, first of all, they're not recognizing that I'm already giving to you monthly, Raphael. Fix it. Fix your people. So they asking me, what can you do? Bruh, what you mean, what can I do? I'm already doing. But now at least they have changed the messaging. So now it's not only it's not that Raphael's okay, but it's like, thank you for your contributions. Can you do more so that we can keep the lead and that we can actually get people out? But it's also now right
$5 today.
And vote for other progressives if you want to help support other progressives now. So Raphael has coattails of his own right now. So his emailing is going into some general funds as well. See, thank you, Anthony. That's right. And thank you, Andrea.
You got to be overloaded with everybody that's on Act Blue.
Oh yeah. Oh no, all the Act Blues.
Yeah. Email mafia.
No, it's gonna be Act Tired in a second because y'all are making me tired. It's too much. It is too much.
I want to show something really quick. I saw this on TikTok. And
who is it?
This is the rapper
Jones.
No.
Go ahead.
And this is, but we're talking about the intermittent elections with the office for the president. What's it called? Midterms. Thank you. Thank myself. But this is a great video. We talk about reaching people where they're at. I remember, what was it, 2 years ago? Maybe 3 at this point. Atlanta launched a campaign called Get Your Booty to the Polls. And it was a bunch of strippers, elegant and eloquent and well-informed strippers that did a campaign called Get Your Booty to the Polls. And once you stop watching the jiggle, they were like, did you know this? Did you know that? And
right. Yeah, that was an amazing ad.
My favorite line was, can't make it rain if you locked up on some bullshit. It was my favorite.
Yeah, that was amazing.
But it was effective. And so this rapper reminds us what we forgot in civics class. And so if you will throw up that back plate for us, I'm going to pull this video up real quick.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me put the go.
thing first. You know, back in middle school when they taught us it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, so the Congress
One more time.
or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't never even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in '08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court calls. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the 3rd branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon ain't had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in. Cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back, grocery store food better, custody of your kids back, homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters. Me and you. Somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. So they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the polls.
Bars.
I have to say, aside from the fact that he looks like the leader of the Golden Lords from Meteor Man, I was really feeling the entire vibe. You didn't like that callback, Troy. I was really vibing off the message because it is important when I do mentoring with young men in the Achiever program, which is something that I've been working with since '99. When the 2016 elections came around, we were having a discussion that year about the importance of voting, and this young man got up and said, well, my vote for president doesn't even count. And I said, well, let's unpack that a bit, because first of all, the only thing that is elected with the Electoral College is the president, and by dint of that, the vice president. Every single other office is 50% plus 1, so your vote does matter. And in fact, your vote on the people who affect your policy and your life locally are technically far more important than who's in the White House for you right now. All politics is local. So when you say, I don't think I should vote because X, you're talking about one office, and there is not a ballot in a off-year election or even a primary or anything else. There's not a single ballot that only has one issue on it. And in fact, most of the ballots you will take place in, most of the voting you will take place in, will not be presidential voting. Right. So it is super duper important, to this young man's point, and shout out to him for breaking it down in such a way that it was easy to understand and putting it in the space of spaces that we as black men and young black men especially can appreciate. Barbershop, basketball court. I don't know about throwing dice in the alley, but you know, whatever. Yeah. That's going to connect with a certain segment of the population. And he broke it down very simply and said, look, it's not just the president. The president isn't even the one. Congress is writing the laws, the president can make them, or writing the bills, the president can make them into laws. It was like basically Schoolhouse Rock for the trap community.
Yeah, Schoolhouse in the Trap. That's exactly what that was.
Trap House Rock.
As CJ pointed out, it's a few years old because he was referencing Obama and nothing.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
At the same time, I mean, that's the beauty of art, is that it is timeless. Everything he was saying is still true.
Oh, absolutely. And
still worth hearing. And what I loved about it is I share that same message time and again with, 30 and 35-year-olds. Like, this is not a monarchy, but we treat it as such because we vote for the president and we stick our heads back in the sand.
Right.
And everything goes to shit in between voting for the president, you expect one man to save your life and change the world, and you put him up there as what did Chris Rock said it best, like freeing a bird with a brick on his back. Like, he can't do everything by himself. And you say, oh, the president's ineffective. That's because it's not his job to write laws. He's sitting there waiting on an ineffective Congress, which is always gridlocked because so many of them run unopposed for the 15th damn time. None of them vote in term limits for themselves because why would I mess up my own money? So that whole thing is a problem. And until you go back, you can almost spot, I want to say it was in the early 1900s, where they started paying like salaries, significant salaries.
Right, for legislators, yes.
All of a sudden, that's when shit started going corrupt, when they started making real money at it. And it wasn't, it wasn't like a jury duty level salary.
Right. When you had to go back and actually be a dentist in order to pay your bills, that you were living like the common person who you were supposed to be representing. But when you're making $178,000 a year with free healthcare, plus a budget for your own apartment in D.C., plus travel, plus a staff, plus, all on the dollar of the American taxpayer, well, now you feel like you're in a different echelon.
Right, and then got the nerve to talk about people being lazy on welfare and not wanting to work.
Let me tell you something. And you said something a little bit just about a minute and a half ago about expectations of black people. You went and you voted for the president. And then you act like your job is done. Not only that you don't have to do anything, but what you gonna do for me, Obama? I voted for you in California, even though California's electoral votes haven't gone to a Republican since Ronald Reagan. But I did that for you. Okay, bro, it doesn't work that way. If you and to put it in a way that my brothers on who are watching the broadcast can attest, if you were the type of person to go to a certain type of club, that gal from last week ain't looking at you like what you did 2 years ago is enough to get you a free lap dance, bro. She looking for singles every week.
I gave you $20 down.
I gave you $20 in 2018. Why you ain't looking at me?
Why don't you love me?
No, it don't work like that. And the political process is the biggest sex worker on the planet right now. So you ain't getting nothing unless you tucking in them draws.
Yep.
Every time you come, not even ordering the wings, not even ordering the drinks, you got to tuck it in them draws. And that is what is going to get you the attention, not because they want your money, but because your money is necessary to put the ads on that helps keep them in office. Mm-hmm. It's not about their own pockets. They're not concerned about their pockets that way.
I saw an ad. I saw something from Beto O'Rourke today. It said, "Help me get on TV." Specifically, that's what the ad said. Help me get on TV. That's what I need money for.
Hello. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just the reality. Thanks to Mitt Romney, corporations are people, my friends. And, now you've got these PACs and these dark money can do whatever they want, can say whatever they want.
I remember the Supreme Court messing that up, too.
Well, technically it was the Supreme Court, but Mitt Romney certainly put it out there and helped to make it, an understanding that exists in the society. I mean, that's just where we are. Thank you. Used to vote for me almost every 4 years, but you didn't vote in the midterms. I mean, it's like, that's what it is. What have you don't even vote for your own mayor. You don't even vote for your own DA. You don't even vote for your city council person. Mm-hmm. You don't vote for your state assembly person. You don't even know who those people are. You don't vote for your own congressman. And you're talking about, I don't know what the Democrats ever done for me. What did you do, bro?
Right.
And I mean, honestly, every person, and this is one of the challenges, and I'm not saying this is, the whole political process in this country does need to change. Shout out to Boris Johnson, by the way, the British Trump, who finally had the common sense to resign when he saw that he had fallen everything to pieces. Something Trump would never do. So shout out to you for seeing the writing on the wall.
That's the difference between an idiot and a narcissist.
Right.
He was like, you know what? I think I'm fucking up. I'm going to get out of here. And he was like, I've done enough damage. I'm going to get out of here. And Trump was like, I'm going to run again. I'm the best thing that's ever happened to anyone, anywhere, anytime. I'm the smartest. I got a good brain. Never trust anyone that says I have a good brain.
Oh
It's
no,
not even a proper
the best brain.
the best brain.
Meanwhile, Boris Johnson is like, Donald, have you heard of this thing called slugging? I'm going to go slug. I think I shall slug, and then I shall moisturize myself with the best emollient balms that are available on the British
I
Isles.
love that she's putting Molly in there. Like we ain't been putting Vaseline and socks on since.
I mean, listen, my father-in-law had a line of skincare things, and he had this stuff that you could put on your feet that would take all that heel callus. Because I'm a callousy brother, I got to say, my heel gets crackly. But it could beat that callus off your foot like a champ. So
Nice.
moisturize, be moist. I know a lot of people don't like the way that word sounds. I don't know
when
why.
that started. Like,
Yeah, but
I think like maybe a year after we started calling people ashy, and then somebody said, "Well, I'm gonna be moist," and then they just stopped liking the word moist. It's weird. It's weird.
I mean, moist is one of those words that actually sounds like what it is, though. It's not an onomatopoeia, but moist, I mean, you know exactly what that sensation is when you say that word. Moist.
We should move on.
We should. We will move on.
It evolves.
Here's a little amuse bouche. I don't know how many of you are on social media as much as I am. I'm gonna say probably not so many. But one thing happened to me this week that absolutely stunned me. Now I'm going to put this picture on the page. I've cropped off the top of the image so that it doesn't give it away. But I asked my son to come in, and I said, "Son, take a look at this guy and tell me how old you think he is." Okay, so this is the guy. This is the young man. I asked my son, who is 18, just graduated from high school. I said, how old do you think that? Yeah, put it in the chat. How old do you think this guy is? And if you've already seen it, don't say. How old do you think this young man is on screen? And like I say, if you know the correct answer, okay, face looks 15. Okay.
Okay.
So that's fine. That is incorrect. That is not a correct response. My son said 18, and then he said, well, maybe 19 or 19 just from looking at him. CJ says 13. That is also not a correct response. Demetra says 17. This young man is 14 years old. He is 14 years old. He weighs 300 pounds. He's 6'1". Thank you, Anthony Turner. And when that came up in my group, I said, this 14-year-old looked like he got 3 baby mamas, 9 kids, and a car note.
He looked like he eats steak sandwiches for breakfast.
He's a freshman. Steak sandwiches.
A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape.
Steaks. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, T-bone steaks and gallons of Welch's grape.
Right.
That's a big dude.
Look, when Tom first showed me that, I was like, no, he's not. He is not 14 because I am not a pedophile. Because, like, parts of me, I was like, no, absolutely not.
Are you saying we have to call you Ghislaine? Don't make me call you Ghislaine, Joy. We don't want to do that. Yeah, that was the most internetage of internetry. I don't understand. He's got children, smaller children, people who didn't make the cut of the squad. They feed that boy place kickers. They feed him freshman cheerleaders, something, because he is consuming calories for real. That he is consuming.
God. Everybody else eating pancakes. He eating whole cakes.
Whole cakes. Other people eating pancakes. He eating skillets of cornbread with syrup and butter
all day.
You go eat your cornbread.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a big dude.
300 pounds of
He has D1. He has D1 offers right now. He is a freshman in high school, and he has D1 offers. That's just nuts. That is nuts to me. That is absolute craziness to me. I don't even get it.
You know what? he got them superpowers. Remember when everybody was saying he's going to get superpowers on December 22nd, like 2 years ago?
That's
He
right.
got them, and he was
No, he got them.
and that's what happened.
No, he did get them. Like before on like December 21st, he was just a regular kid. And then he stepped out in the sun, and the sun activated the melanin, and he just like skeech, skeech, skeech. It's like,
Yep.
you won't like him when he's angry.
Right, and he swole up.
Right.
I bet you he's the sweetest kid, though.
He's bulk. He's Black Hulk. Somebody said he's gonna be a problem. I said gonna be.
Right? He been a problem.
Oh, he
How much did he weigh when he came out? Oh my God.
he was a watermelon when he came out.
Oh,
Just, I'm sorry for your mother's uterus. I'm sorry that you
he came
doing.
out and went straight to a job.
Man. No, not went to a job. Took somebody's job in nappies with Enfamil in a bottle.
He was like,
He's assembling cars.
oh,
Right, John Henry ass. Come on, man. You got to.
I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We are all like on a fast train to hell.
sorry.
Somebody else though who is definitely going to hell is a pair of black and conservatives who, I didn't say that. I did. I mispronounced conservatives as conservatives. With no preservatives. They decided they were going to come for somebody, and they did not realize that the person for whom they were trying to come had a team.
Now I got something to say before you show this. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you can refute someone's position all you want. But when you've lost down to a squabble and you have nothing better to say than to start to denigrate somebody's appearance, that means you have no talking points.
Nope.
You just out here talking shit.
Right.
And that means that you have lost your argument. You got nothing to say. You know, that's what they mean when they say if you can't say something nice, shut the fuck up.
Say nothing.
That's
Yeah.
how it goes, right?
Right.
And so in this case, like you said, the person that they decided to attack has a team. I am on that team. I am on the team of the person they attacked. And the young lady that decided to join the team, this is the best third-party clapback I have ever seen, and it is worth sharing.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, do not sip wine before this video starts. Do not. Because I'm not paying for your computer screen when you spit your wine out. Because when I tell you this is a reading rainbow.
Get somewhere quiet.
I mean, so you can hoot and holler. Turn up. Because you got to hear the ignorance of the people who get clapped backeth uponeth. So you got to hear their speeches a little bit lower, and then Sister Girl slides into their DMs with the fiercest. So sit back and enjoy. It's 3 minutes. Sit back.
Worth it.
It's hard for me to say happy 4th of July because it feels like we're going back to slavery, so maybe I should say happy back to slavery day.
Do everything in my power not to talk about Leslie Jones's looks.
Where else, if not America, can you resemble Great Ape and have the success that Leslie Jones has had? When she talks about women's rights, women still have the right to close their legs and be the peach that's out of reach. Because if we went back to slavery, just like myself, Leslie, you would be in the field. And as a 6-foot woman that's actually built like a man, you would probably be working alongside the ox.
Oh, Shamika, darling, I know that was very hard for you to say, and I mean that literally, because you were struggling like you were the student back in the day who everyone sighed heavily when it was their turn to read in the class. And if there's one thing that I can't stand, it's a couple of remedial motherfucking pick-me's who just want to run their mouths. So let's be perfectly clear, my dear, in case no one has told you. They will never pick you. It's very clear that you want to be the token black Barbie and ride on the coattails of Candace Owens, but even her raggedy ass had the good sense to not put herself naked on the front of a book and have 3 children before she decided to become the Republican black darling. Slut shaming is absolutely intriguing on your part, because they will call you a ran-through woman. You don't meet their standards. You talk about the peach that's out of reach, baby, you've been giving your cobbler away for years. And you decide to go to the side that's going to completely demonize you for it? Bad survival skills, hun. But let's talk about the fact that you, a black woman, with dark skin and 4C hair, decided to use white supremacist racial epithets against another black woman by calling Leslie Jones an ape. And if that's not perplexing enough, you decided to go on and say that if you were both slaves today, that you would both be in the field. And yet, even then, in describing yourself in this hypothetical enslaved situation as a field Negro, you decided to still try to demote Leslie Jones by comparing her to the oxen? You are truly trying to grasp onto whatever crumbs Massa will throw your way. But I see your game, and you didn't call Leslie Jones an ape because she actually resembles an ape. It's very clear that she is a gorgeous, beautiful, strong, hilarious black woman. No, you called her an ape because you are very threatened by her, because you know damn well that if this were slavery times, she would be standing right alongside Harriet Tubman on the Underground Railroad, and you would be the snitch that Harriet shot. And I get it. You probably saw an opportunity to shill and make a few bucks on behalf of selling your soul to the Republican Party. But while you were on that very demeaning journey to notoriety, I want to give you a suggestion, and that's to keep Leslie Jones' name out of your motherfucking mouth. I know that her name tastes so sweet in your mouth, like the success that you'll never reach, but I want you to try it anyways. And I hope that you and Jason have the lives that you deserve. But once again, remember, they will never, ever pick you.
So,
That was a bomb to my soul. Oh, when I saw it, I ran around the house. Yes, scorched earth. I mean, she just.
I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot.
She said
That
you
was
ran through woman.
ran through. You've been giving away your cobbler for free. Your peach is so in reach. This, you know what this was? I don't know if you all have watched Stranger Things. I hope you have. But they were the Demogorgons, and Hopper had a flamethrower. Actually, it wasn't Hopper who had the flamethrower. The other guy had the flamethrower and was just like this. And the Demogorgons and the Demo Dogs were just like, "Aah!" And they're flapping those things like this. And they were just on fire. They were just simply on fire.
Immolation.
It wasn't self-immolation. They set themselves up. They poured the gasoline on themselves, and girlfriend just started throwing matches and just lit their ass up.
Immolation.
I mean, it was. Ooh, that was choice. That was creamy and delicious.
Yes, because she was so smooth with it.
Checking, clearing, gathering, and. Are there any edges left? I don't think there are any edges left.
There's not even follicles left.
No. The baby hair is gone. No, there's nothing. All of the Vaseline in the world is not going to remove the ash from the flame she applied to you. There's no aloe. There's nothing.
There's nothing to come back from. If you're interested in following her, her name is Booker Squared, all spelled out. Booker Squared on TikTok. And she did the damn thing. Well done, young lady.
Yes, well done. And so calm. That's what I love. She just sat there perched on her bed, her legs gathered.
Booker Aqua Red, but
that's because the A is next to the S.
I know. Oh wow. But when I first saw that, when I was hollering in my house, ran around in a circle and watched it like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, no, that was epic. No, that was epic.
That's what I meant. Like, you can pander all you want. They're never. And I want to send this to other people of color who believe that by shitting on Black people, they can elevate themselves. They will never pick you either. All you're doing is making it easy for them to exterminate the rest of us by helping it along, and then they're going to turn around and exterminate. I've seen this. There is an allegory for this in corporate America. I've seen this happen. Well, they will hire someone at a VP level, make that person fire an entire organization, and they cut
And
your
then click, cut you.
Yep. They never intended to make you a part of that inner circle. They just want you to feel good about it as you axe other people and give them all those pink slips. And then your reward is your own pink slip. The same way those Africans that sold their brothers, and well, not brothers, but sold other tribes into slavery, got on the boat too. It's the same shit. Generation after generation, eon after eon, time and again, can't trust them.
Ask Diamond and Silk. Where Diamond and Silk been at? Where they TV show? You are not even just pick-me's. You are pick-me ninnies. You know, I can't resist a good portmanteau. That's what you are, pick-me ninnies. You got bows in your hair, running around here, shiny faces, double fisting watermelon slices like you, Omarion, at the racial verses. Stop it. Stop it. My one wish for you.
We have to diagram that to pull all that.
My one wish is that you could get it together.
Yes,
and stop playing into games.
Too. Where's she at?
Oh, she quit after one episode of College Hill. The auntie reboot. Well, auntie and uncle reboot. She already gone. Nene's still there though, apparently. I haven't watched the show. I haven't watched it since it was really with college kids. Well, it was fun when it was actual college students. These 45-year-olds who don't look like Stacey Dash did in Clueless when she was 35 or 36 playing a 14-year-old or whatever. Right. No, if Nene don't look like anybody's high school student or college student.
No.
Sorry, Lanithia. No.
Is that her full name?
Yeah, Lanithia Leaks.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter loves Real Housewives of Atlanta. So anyway, I think that we are in an interesting time as we kind of roll out of the post July 4th. Primary season is inching forward, and we are heading into, by the time September, October rolls around, we are going to be like full blown into the midterm election cycle. And so, there's a lot on the line. There is so much on the line. So many different things are happening. And so it is important. My son, this is going to be the first time he's going to be able to vote in a federal election because this is the first time he's 18. And so all of us who are similarly situated, who had graduating seniors or whatever, and this is going to be their first time to cast their vote, we definitely need to impress upon them because trust and believe, y'all, it's the youth vote, especially in the midterms, that they are counting on not coming out.
You know what? Speaking to that, somebody made a point to me, and I wish I could remember who I was talking to, but I'd be ADHDing up in here. But the discussion was around, ease of voting. And, back in the day, the military would be right there when you turn 18 to sign you up with some
I know that's right.
on your high school campus, or, there's all kind of things that are accessible. Why aren't we doing some birthday registrations on high school campuses? Like, you should be able to walk right into the principal's office when you turn 18, and there should be voter registrations just there all the time. Why isn't it that easy to register to vote?
Well, there in California, we have among the most progressive voting that can take place. I mean, registration. You can register same day in California and vote.
Wow. Out here doing some bullshit.
Well, exactly. I mean, and again, Ron Johnson is a menace. He is a menace, and he's so much of a menace that before the 4th of July Highland Park shooting, he had this radio ad set to talk about the biggest mass murder in recent weeks was not gun related. It was the 53 illegals crossing the border, blah, blah, blah. And then Highland happened, and within 24 hours, he attempted to scrub the ad. He pulled all of the ad buys because there had just been a mass shooting on American soil in Illinois. But the audio got out. This is who these people are. This is who these people are. And, right now, part of the problem with governance in this country is that the way the GOP has been operating, you need a supermajority in the Senate to do anything.
Yep.
You talk about Obamacare and, well, he got Obamacare done with MacGyver, dental floss, chewing gum, hot glue gun, people standing holding it like this.
Chicken's feet, 2 beats, and a battery. Yes.
They had to rouse Ted Kennedy out of a fucking coma to get Obamacare done. Don't believe the hype. It's not a matter, and we can't even get a supermajority in the Senate this cycle. It's numerically impossible for us to get a Senate supermajority. Mm-hmm. We could come up a couple of seats and give us a little breathing room. And if we do, if we hold Warnock, if we get Demings over Rubio, again, Florida, please help us out. If we can get those pickups and we go from 50 to 52, it might, if we can pick up Ron Johnson's seat, y'all used to have sense up in Wisconsin. If we can do that, then it might shake some people out of this Trump fever dream, and maybe some people will start to return into normalcy. Maybe. Mm-hmm. But you've got to realize, in order for us to do anything, and this is what I was saying about our youngsters, we've got to get our youngsters to vote, the people who just became of voting age, and we need to get their friends. My son has a little tight group of friends. They all work at the little bounce zone thing, and it's like 7 or 8 of them. And we need all of those kids, put them in your SUV, and take them to vote with you. Yeah, Mandela Barnes is a great one. That's right. Thank you, CJ. So we have got to make sure this is not the midterm to sit it out. And I know we are not happy with our top of the ticket leadership, but the top of the ticket is not on the ballot. We've got to vote to secure what we have so that we can move forward. Biden signed an executive order protecting abortion medication and contraception and all this other stuff. It will have no weight unless it can be enshrined in law. And Dianne Feinstein, of all people, this holy filibuster, Dianne Feinstein is willing, she has said, not just signaled, said she is willing to create a carve-out in the filibuster rule for this particular issue. And female bodily autonomy is something that is an issue for which we should be fighting. And just a little fact for everybody who insists that, life begins at conception, etc., etc. According to the CDC, there are more naturally occurring miscarriages than there are abortions in this country.
Right.
And that being the case means that every fertilized ovum is not a guaranteed child.
Absolutely not.
And to say that potential is the same as a living, walking, breathing person is fallacious. And up until 22 months, that there's not even a possibility of that baby surviving outside of the womb. Mm-hmm. And even then, even if you were able to save the child,
yeah,
it's 22 weeks is not, that is an uphill battle of developmental challenges. That's not the way it's supposed to work. It just isn't.
It's not the way it's supposed to work. Not only that, but there are some states who shall remain nameless that are investigating the possibility of requiring hospitals, clinics, etc., to report any and all women who show up with questionable diagnoses, like any sort of infection, any trauma to their reproductive organs, etc., that might, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, signal an attempted abortion that may have gone wrong. But under that umbrella, you have heavy periods, strong blood clots, uterine fibroids, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, just fucking bad fucking cramps, like all kind of stuff that can send women to seek medical help. In addition to actual, as to your point, actual miscarriages of women that wanted the children that they were trying to carry. And now, on top of having lost the baby they may have been trying for, you're going to send them to the fucking police? You know how traumatic that can be? Um,
And having a woman with who where the baby the pregnancy has self terminated, and not allowing the fetus to be removed from the woman, even though the now dead fetus
they will
is
make
actually making the woman sick.
they will make you give birth to a dead fetus and endanger your own life.
Your own life. It is really, thank you, ectopic pregnancies as well. It is very, very difficult. And again, I'm not a person who will ever face having to make that decision. And so it is not my space. All I can say is that it is not even a matter of privacy. It is a matter of autonomy of our own bodies.
Bobby, I read that too, that a woman would have to reach sepsis. Like, you basically have to be in the process of dying.
Right.
People can say, okay, well, she's in the process of dying. Now it's a triage issue versus a right to life birth or whatever issue. And this all goes back to, I can take everything back. If you go back far enough, it goes back to some form of supremacy. This goes back to patriarchal, it's an extra K, patriarchal views of women. So for up until, I want to say, either the late 1800s or the early 1900s, all cadavers were men. So how do you know how a woman's body works when you've never looked at it? There's a video on Netflix called The Pleasure Principle, and it's brilliant. Not only because it breaks down a woman's body. I learned some shit, and I thought I've taken the mirror and all that. I thought I knew myself pretty well, and I learned some stuff. But the thing about it is, like, Sigmund Freud, like, had them take a woman's like clitoris out of the medical books, like, oh, that's nothing, you don't need to worry about that, for like 50 years. And clinical trials, medical studies, medicine studies, all that stuff was only done on men, particularly white men, for decades. And so they didn't understand how things worked with women's bodies, hormonal fluctuations. And when they did start adding women, hormonal fluctuation was seen as noise in the system. The same way I might do a test on, how many people go down the street, and every time somebody sped through, I'll be like, oh, don't worry about that, that's noise in the system. And just ignoring data to make my answers easier. That's what they did. And then it wasn't until women started dying and suing and like, oh, well, maybe we should look at this. Oh, these hormones, these are different from men hormones. What the hell is this? We're talking 60s and 70s at this point. This shit is recent. And they still, yes, hysteria and hysterectomy. So feminine hysteria, real quick on this, because I know I've talked about this before. Feminine hysteria was a condition that women developed because they were basically, it was women's version of blue balls, because men didn't know how to please women because they thought a women's orgasm was an abomination in the extreme and just a myth on the mild side of it. And so since women weren't getting off, they sitting at home, the man comes home, hey baby, how was your day? Man, fuck you. So it was all of that. Because it's been years, you've been married to this dude who leaves you almost there for 15 years. And so now you angry, you fed up, you go to the doctor, and they gave what it was called, the doctor would digitally manipulate the woman's uterine region to cause a paroxysm of female humors. That's the whole way they described it. Basically,
I was a long way of saying to get her nut off.
He would get her off, but it took too long to do it manually, so they developed machines. They would strap her in the stirrups and put her on the machine for about 15 minutes to get her off. These are the first vibrators. Doctors invented those to make their jobs easier. And now you got a whole slew of men mad about toys. Man, fuck you. I'm using all my toys for the rest of my life. It's a medical process, damn it. But I'm way off topic. Back to the point. The point is, men in general, present company potentially excluded, men in general do not understand how women's bodies works, especially when it comes down to all the ways a woman's reproductive system can go fucking haywire on a dime. We just talked about a few months ago how my body decided it was going to fake a baby and create a 27-pound ovarian cyst out of nothing. And I got a fucking C-section scar in the middle of my stomach. Now, if I had been denied that on the grounds that, well, that looks like a baby, sounds like a baby, could be a baby, we're not going to do this for you, but et cetera, I could have died. Because if that 27 pounds of infectious fluid had ruptured in my abdominal cavity, then what? And some women might be facing that right now, right? And so all of this is ridiculous. And it all goes back to male doctors not wanting to admit their ignorance and male politicians not having a fucking clue what they're talking about. When a man opens his mouth and says an ectopic pregnancy can be replaced into a uterus, you need to stop talking right now because you don't know what the hell you're saying. And you're too stupid to know you sound stupid. And why are you legislating? This is another thing. If your rights as a demographic, women, LGBTQ, people of color, Native American, et cetera, if your rights as a demographic are legislated by somebody else, that's how you know you're a fucking minority, right there.
There you go.
Because white men don't never have their rights, but they got a right to do whatever the hell they want and to decide what other people get to do.
And women aren't even a minority in this country. That's the crazy part.
This should not be legislated at all. You know what needs to pass is not necessarily a woman's bodily autonomy, period. It should be a subset of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and the right to privacy, which is where Roe v. Wade started in the first damn place, was the right to privacy, right? I have the right to do what I want with my body, period. Leave it at that, and then let me work this out. If you want to be religious, you want to bring Christianity into whatever, let God punish me then. If I want to go to hell, let me go to hell. And besides, y'all already out here fucking children and lying about it and cheating on your wife, et cetera, and doing all kind of other nonsense. So let me, do whatever I want with my body, and we will work on that later. When I see Jesus, I will explain it to him. Okay, I shouldn't have to explain it to you.
To you.
Period.
That Kristi Noem, sitting governor of South Dakota, was faced with a scenario of a 10-year-old child, and this was not a pretend scenario. This is an actual scenario. A 10-year-old child who was raped, and I believe it was incestual rape along with everything else. I mean, it had to be rape because she's 10, but I think it was incestual rape as well. And the question was, she had to be taken out of her state to go to another state to have the pregnancy terminated because she's 10. And a 10-year-old is not supposed to get pregnant. Aside from the fact that eating those Chick-fil-A sandwiches got extra hormones in them and people are developing earlier than they used to, that's not the way it's supposed to be. It is not the 1600s. This is not Romeo and Juliet. You're not supposed to be marrying off prepubescent children and having them impregnated. That's not the way the biology is supposed to work. And Kristi Noem's talking about, well, you don't compound one tragedy with another. Excuse me. This 10-year-old child is not going into middle school as a mother.
So that's another tragedy, though. You just said you don't compound one tragedy with another. So you're willing to compound one tragedy with an ongoing, potentially 18-year-long trauma.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so you've got the tragedy of the incident that created the pregnancy and the filthy bastard who did that.
And then a daily reminder that she has to care for.
And let's be clear. You think an average 10-year-old young girl is going to carry a baby to term? How?
Her body's not even
It's not even equipped to do that, to accommodate what a pregnancy would do to her. So you're putting that young baby at risk the girl, the walking, the upright human on the planet, self-mobile. Mm-hmm. You're putting that baby's life at risk for a zygote.
And her mental health.
She's already going to be facing mental trauma. With or without the pregnancy, she's going to be facing severe mental trauma. that she will need therapy and counseling for. And a pregnancy? Children at school, I don't care how.
All of this is wrong.
No, ma'am. No, you are not. You are absolutely not.
But you can't adopt a child at 15 or 17 or 19
Right.
or 20.
Exactly. But you can mother a child at 11?
That's what people mean when they say it's whatever's convenient for the spin.
Yeah, no. Y'all can go straight to hell on that. You really can. You can go straight
Didn't
to
Dante
hell on
say it's a
that.
special level of hell for hypocrites?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dante. Oh yeah, yeah. And leaden robes, like to express the breadth of their lies and their hypocrisy. So leaden robes, and then like birds come and kind of eat them, a la Prometheus too.
Yeah.
It was a combo plate of torture.
Right.
But please, by all means, sign up for that.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine with that.
'Cause
Absolutely.
I'm not going to hell. I'm being reincarnated.
Yeah, I think I like the defending your life model. I don't know if you've seen that Albert Brooks movie. Very funny. Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep. It is streamable. And instead of heaven or hell, basically, when you die, you have to defend your life. And if you haven't overcome your fear, then you get sent back to Earth and live another life. But if you do overcome your fear, then you can move on into the universe and actually go on to a better place. They don't call it heaven. It's just you move to a different place in the universe.
Okay, like you level up.
Yeah, you level up. It's very funny. Defending your life. Albert Brooks has a very wry and dry sense of humor, but I think he's very funny. Huh?
Is that Mel Brooks' kid?
No, it is not actually. But well, Mel is a lot wackier than Albert, but very good. He also did Lost in America and Mother. Guys don't have the same.
A mouthful here, though. You know, guys
It
don't have
is.
medical concerns that women do. So people that don't know any better don't have empathy. Most women have gynecologists, very few
Bam.
have urologists. That is very true.
It is
something
true.
I talk about in the classes that I teach about a lack of empathy leads to apathy.
That's right.
You know, if you don't feel something for anybody else, you don't give a damn about it. And that's what privilege is. It's not about not struggling. It's about not paying attention to somebody else's struggle because it's not yours. You don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But when, instead of just saying, I don't have a dog in this race and then shutting up right there, I don't have a dog in this race, but I'm going to exercise my power.
I know that's
anyway.
right.
That's what's happening right now.
You know what you can do? You can exercise your ass in a seat.
Right.
Do that. And I'm gonna give Chan. I'm giving Chan the blue star comment for this excellent thing about the empathy. I don't have a urologist.
I got two gynecologists.
Exactly. I just don't have it. I don't have a monthly visit. I don't have to have a dick smear. I don't. Yeah. I just. It's not. That's not something I have to deal with. That's right. Privilege explained, Anthony. One of our most consistent Sharpies. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Yeah, y'all are so cool.
And thank you, Paul, as well.
Right.
Go ahead, Joy.
I feel like, I mean, people think it's a joke. They think it's a joke because the power differential is so strong. But if we could pass a law that says if life begins at conception and so does child support.
I know that's right.
Get out tomorrow.
Done. Done.
Right.
And like they say, and this is kind of an oldie but a goodie, but if pregnancy is God's will, then so is your limp dick. Ban Viagra.
Ban Viagra. Viagra is covered on almost all insurance.
Which is creating the pregnancies you want to guard against.
Right. But then you got stupid women like this. This is my last video. This stupid, you know what? This, I'm just gonna let you hear the fuckery that comes out of her mouth.
I have 5 grandchildren. I would do anything to protect my 5 grandchildren, including, as a last resort, shooting them.
The fuck?
So that was the gun lobby discussion. What last resort would require you to shoot your grandchildren? And I went through all the comments on that post looking for context, and the answer was no. She just fucking said that. There was no context for that. There was no reason to shoot you. Like there, it wasn't like there was some like zombie coming, or like they had a flesh-eating virus that worked in seconds, and you were sparing them pain.
Not seconds.
With your grandchildren. That's what the fuck. What is happening right now? And why would you think that that's okay? Like,
I mean, to be fair, she was a Branch Davidian, so.
But you know what, boy? But still, that just it underscores the fact that some of the things that some people have been saying recently, that guns have more rights than born children, not fetuses, but born children do in this country right now, because we keep looking the other way, burying our heads in the sand, as people holding guns, however you want to look at it, are doing more damage to the younger generations of humans than anything else. Even if yes, car accidents and flights and trains and meth and et cetera, are still killers of children around the country, guns do a lot of damage. And here's this woman saying, I love my 5 grandchildren, but I kill them dead. Why? Just so other people can have the chance to kill them dead? There are plenty of other first world economic power countries that even their police forces don't use guns. They still manage to kill suspects in custody at a 3-to-1 ratio of black to white. Now, I've done the research, and in the UK, even though they only have about a 3% black population in all of the UK, they still kill black people in custody at a 3-to-1 ratio to white people. It's fucking insane. With nightsticks and shit, apparently. But if you want to kill somebody, you can kill them.
Right.
You have to do it on the level that we do it.
But also, you don't have to talk about killing your grandchildren, who one presumes are harmless bystanders, because the way she said, I would do anything to protect them, including shooting them. So
protect them from what at that point is my question.
Abortion.
So somebody.
You see how that sounds? You see how dumb you sound, representative from Arizona?
I can't with you, Tom. I really can't.
I mean, I just before we go, I want to.
Yes, that was Debbie Lesko. Thank you for the name.
Thank you. I want to say something about SCOTUS again, because poor little Brett Kavanaugh was trying to have a steak dinner.
Wait, Chad got a point. Her grandkids is like, wait, what?
I know that's right. Like, Ma, we ain't going to grandma's for Christmas this year. We gonna stay we gonna go around yonder to Applebee's and maybe get us a Carvel ice cream cake or something. We ain't going to grandma's house no more. So Kavanaugh went to go get a steak at a steakhouse whose name I won't mention because I don't want to promote them because of their foolishness. But he got there and somebody tipped some activists off that he was at this steakhouse eating a steak. And so people came to protest outside of the steakhouse. And he ended up having to wolf down his food, including dessert. So he wasn't that interrupted. Wolfed down his food, ate his dessert, and then crept out the back door with his service retinue. And so the steakhouse was up in arms, saying, he has a right to eat in peace. To which a bunch of pundits said, since the SCOTUS just basically abandoned the whole principle of unenumerated rights in the 14th Amendment, the right to enjoy dinner is not included in there. So basically, they coming for you next. And this whole thing caused me to be reminded of something. And I'm not a fan of the founding fathers as a general rule, but when somebody does say something that can bounce back on conservative fuckery, I'm all too happy to wield it like a sword. So let's just take a look at this comment in a letter to Samuel Kercheval from July 12th, not so many days, a couple hundred years in the past, by Thomas Jefferson. I'm not an advocate for frequent changes in laws and constitutions, but laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind. As that becomes more developed, more enlightened, as new discoveries are made, new truths discovered, and manners and opinions change, with the change of circumstances, institutions must advance also to keep pace with the times. We might as well require a man to wear still the coat which fitted him when a boy, as a civilized society to remain ever under the regimen of their barbarous ancestors. And that's Thomas Jefferson, who had a little something to do with the Constitution. And it should be said that the Constitution, without amendment, existed for a whole 2 years before 2A and some of them other things came in. So that inviolate originalist textual document existed, ratified, for a whole 2 years before this Second Amendment well-regulated militia that y'all always leave out your definitions of the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Well-regulated militia.
That doesn't mean y'all just out here just
yeah, not some 21-year-old overly tattooed asshole who had dozens of knives snatched from him, and the daddy claimed the knives were his, and then the daddy wrote a gun permit for him when he should have been tagged by Illinois' relatively restrictive red flag laws. They slipped right around that because the right to bear arms shall not be infringed for the purposes of a well-regulated militia. Stop leaving it out.
And if you want to take it on the other extreme, even though we're supposed to keep church and state separate,
well,
I am not a biblical scholar, but I know somewhere in there it says, when I was a child, I thought as a child. I acted as a child, something else, paraphrasing. But now that I am not, I am done with those things.
Left behind childish things.
Childish things. I have evolved. I have grown up. I'm doing something new, etc. I am no longer Freaknik. I am Essence Fest now. You know what, Michael Harriet? I'm still with that bullshit.
That was fucking hilarious. That was hilarious.
If I ever meet Michael Harriet in person, I'm going to hug him, I'm going to kiss him on the cheek, and I'm going to punch him in the stomach all at the same time. I love him like he is family. That boy is a genius. If you haven't seen his quote on Twitter, he said, Freaknik had fun back in the day. She grew up, she got her doctorate degree, she had 2 kids, she got a daughter that got a full ride to Spelman now. But she doesn't want to be called Freaknik anymore. She's evolved. She's grown on. And she's
Essence Fest
now. And I was like, that is so damn accurate. You mother.
And her credit score is 730. That's a good credit score.
773. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is it 773?
773.
Oh no, that's a great
Yes,
score.
it is.
That's an aggressive score.
It's pretty damn close to. Like, I was reading it like, if you don't get the hell out my bushes, boy.
Yeah,
I love you to death.
That was fine. I am a fan of Michael Harriet. He was with Very Smart Brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and Damon Young.
And Damon Young. Yeah, both of them. I love them dudes. I was born 20 years too early because I definitely would have been right there with both of them working on stuff.
CJ
together.
just mentioned this other quote that I saw. Essence Fest is now Auntie Con.
Right.
Yes.
And for all of our ESL speakers, the English language must be so difficult to learn with all of its silent Ks. 1 silent K in not, 2 silent Ks in knuckle, 3 silent Ks in Republican, 4 silent Ks in knick-knack. I mean, it's just, these are the things that we see as we're trying to prepare our show. These are the sorts of things that pop across our lines, and we just want to share them with you. I noticed that CJ said, "Tom, I hate you." I think that was about the shooting to protect them from abortion, probably, because it was at 6:48. So that timestamp probably tells me that's when that was.
That was. We all
Yeah, because you walked off camera. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I don't have my other Steelies to kind of rein me back, I start free associating, and so but I try to do this. God damn it, Mark. Mark posted a haircut picture talking about looking like, went from need a job to middle-aged heartthrob, and he got him a good crispy tight shave and a bald fade.
okay.
Probably like about a half, and it wasn't a one. It's a real low and tight. But shout out to Mark Stepney, HCast Friends for Life. Uh, that was Joy giving sending Mark Stepney as a snack vibes, just a little wink and and the wine glass tilt. So we want to thank you all, as we do every single show. We want to thank you for supporting Steel Sharpens Steel during these summer months as we gear up for what is going to be a very aggressive schedule in the fall midterm season. We are going to dial things back temporarily, so we're going to be doing an every other week format right now. However, if Pat Cipollone literally throws a grenade in Trump's face, you can count on us to come in and we'll do a special episode. We'll let you know if something is hot and spicy. It may be a quick take. It may only be 30 minutes, but that means we're going to be skipping next week. So, skipping next week, but we will be back on, so not the 17th or the 15th. We'll be back the week after that.
Was that the 20, whatever that is? Plus
22nd.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be back. And as I say, if something really, really pressing, you can keep, those of you who haven't subscribed to our Facebook page, please do. And if you subscribe, and if you like and subscribe and hit the notification, thank you, Anthony. And indeed, shout outs to Chuck and Sharon in the trenches, Chuck doing the Lord's work, and Sharon fighting to confirm within the system what we already know to be true. Right. That she is, it's not only a matter of being not guilty, that she is actually innocent. And
little box wine for
Sharon. Pour out a little box wine for my good friend all the way back from 86. So we will be available if you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell whenever we do post something. If we do post like a little emergency quick take that we post and publish to YouTube, you will get that notification. So we want to thank you for being with us and staying with. Oh, go ahead, Joy.
I just noticed something. It wasn't a video, but I have it set up here. Jerome Davison for Congress with the Klan hoods and the mouth. We've got to show this. We've got to show this.
Did you load it already?
I have it on a separate.
Oh, you have it on the thing. Okay, got it.
So y'all, look at this nonsense. Hang on. Let me see if you can get my thing.
This is peak. Pick me ninny. Yeah.
Yes, all of the things.
You're gonna do it with us? Yeah. Okay, got it.
Hang on.
I'd like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense. That no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods,
really,
you just might need that semi-automatic.
Really?
And all 30 rounds.
Do you know?
How fucking dare you, son?
Wait, do you know what I'm noticing for the first time? Because I've watched that ad, but I haven't watched it as big as I just watched it because I was mostly looking at it on the phone. Because when you sent it, I had my phone. I wasn't next to it. Do you know he has donkeys and a blue D on those Klan robes? when he knows that the Klan uses red?
He had to create his own customized
his own Klan. Thank you. Yeah, no, that was a lot. And then he sat there like he was in prayer as one of the Klansmen carried a bat like he was Negan in The Walking Dead.
It had the nerve to pull a Malcolm X.
Malcolm X pose in the glasses, walking up with the AK and you might need all 30 rounds.
Let's also notice the fact that you just pulled a gun on people that didn't have guns, if anything.
Well, they did have pitchforks and bats.
And bats.
But all of them didn't even have that.
And his name is not Jerome, it's Jerome.
Yes, Jerome. Jerome.
Grammar, spelling.
Right. Yeah, because you better call Jerome. Call him and tell him go on and sit your motherfucking ass down because you stupid as hell. Sit down. Yeah, no. We're not doing what we're not doing, Jerome, is that. And for you to have the temerity, first of all, clown, you are not old enough for the Democrats to be the seat of the Klan. Robert Atwater, ho. You are not that. Oh, you aren't as old as me.
Robert Atwater, ho.
If you don't stop it.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Robert Atwater, ho.
Yeah, no, Jerome, you don't get that. You don't get that, Jerome. You do not. Chad says Negan, please.
Yes, that's 2 for 2.
Yeah, no, Chan, you firing on all cylinders. I'm sorry, Anthony. You still get first place for first post, but Chan has been on fire today. Chan is bringing the thunder and the heat. By the way, for those of you who are interested in pop culture, I know most of our people are on the East Coast, and so you're probably tired. But as I said last episode, tonight, starting in about 45 minutes, is the 1,000th episode, the 1,000th episode of Nerd-O-Rama with Mo Kelly and Tawala, and this is our Friday nights of the Nerd Roundtable. So some of my nerd people who like pop culture, Mark Stepney, if you want to go on over, if you like the Mo Kelly page, or if you search for Nerd-O-Rama on YouTube, then you can be a part of watching that. We've got a lot to talk about. If you have not seen Thor, don't watch. If you haven't seen the finale of The Boys, don't watch. If you haven't seen the Umbrella Academy or Stranger Things, we're going to be talking about a lot. I personally enjoyed Thor, but a lot of my co-panelists are less enthused than I am. But I happen to be right on this one. So if you like Ragnarok, I think you will enjoy Love and Thunder.
Okay, cool. I love Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I got one more thing I want to end on. It's not a high note. You know, I like funny things. I love the culture. And so, you know, Venus and Serena have been rocking in tennis for a generation. And this next little video, it's only 11 seconds. But it's one of those things like, this is why they hate us. And I love it when we bring flavor in a place that they don't expect flavor. And I love the overlay of the music with this. So y'all bear with me for a second. I just want to show this just because I got producer rights and I can do what I want.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm. Real quick. One more time.
Yeah, you got to add it. You got to click add to stream.
It's not in there?
No, it is in there now. So that's called a drop shot for those of you, because it was kind of small on screen. But this brother was so nonchalant.
Right. It was the tennis version of a no-look pass.
I mean, he killed it.
Yeah. And then he stood there for a second like, yeah, that just happened to you. That's why they hate him. It was so cool with his little dreadlocks. I was like, oh, look at you. I love you.
Yeah, no, it was impressive.
It was
is what it
cool.
was.
Thank you. Thank you for
It was
indulging.
impressive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna paste the link to the Nerdorama. So I'm gonna drop out of the feed for a second. I'm gonna leave the lovely Joy with her unslugged lipstick, and I'll be right back.
So while I'm in here by myself, I would remind you all that life is short. Tell the people around you that you love them. Tomorrow is Saturday. Get out, get some sun. Get if you have a pool close to you, go to the pool, relax, because this fall we are in for a fight. And this, I fully expect you. If you are a card-carrying Sharpie, I fully expect you not only to vote, but to be canvassing for your local candidates, to be talking to the younger generations, the 30-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, the 18-year-olds, the 17 and a half-year-olds. Like, you need to get up and get out and vote something.
Yes,
right?
you do.
So I fully expect y'all to be doing that. And I expect nothing less, and I will accept nothing
less. That's right.
Y'all know how we do.
We do. And y'all know that I am Tom Cunningham.
And I am Joy Stevens.
And this has been an After Dark episode of Steel Sharpens Steel. Stay moist, my friends.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Crack open that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang with Steel Sharpens Steel After Dark.